Me and my husband did not have sex prior to getting married, and here are a few things that we did to make sure that we didn't. Hey guys, my name is Am. I am a mom, I'm a wife, and I'm a six-figure e-commerce store owner. Me and my husband have almost been married for 3 years. We've been running and operating our business for 2 years, and I just gave birth to my daughter this year. So when I first met my husband, he had just flat out told me that he was not gonna have sex with me. And in my mind, I'm like, exactly. What do you mean you're not gonna have sex with me? Like, he said there's no point of us being in a relationship and courting if our goal is not to be married. The problem was that I hadn't really fully surrendered that part of my life yet where I was completely done with fornicating. I was walking with God, but very lukewarm, like the grunting baby in question. Say hey. So he just straight up asked me, are you ready to be cultivated? Are you ready to be my Proverbs 31 woman? And I had to take some time to honestly think about it because I didn't know. I wasn't ready. So the first thing that we did was set boundaries. We made a rule saying that we were not going to be going over each other's houses, being in each other's bedrooms, getting each other's beds. Like every meetup that we were ever going to have was going to be out in public to where, if you're at an arcade or you're playing, like you're just at the movies, you can't have sex there. So you have no choice but to start working on self-control. We also realized that we had to really sit down and learn, what does it mean to abstain? Why are we abstaining? What does the Father say about not having sex? Why should you not fornicate? What were all the things? 1 Corinthians 6:18 clearly states to flee from sexual immorality. That was one of the scriptures that kind of stayed with us in the process of what we needed to do. We also knew in our relationship, we kept saying, keep God the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing. We said that for 365 days straight. We were very intentional about less sexy talk, less flirting, less hugging, less kissing, because as soon as you guys start hugging and touching and all that stuff, one thing leads to the next, and those hugs get longer and longer and longer, more intimate. So we kept all those things very minimal, okay? We kept our heads down into our word, heads down into our Bible, stayed in church, and we was space to space. So if I'm here, he was over there. We also made sure that we studied to learn what it meant to abstain during, courtship. We didn't know anybody that was currently abstaining. Fornication was such a big thing. We had no relatives, friends, any example. So we just watched pounds of YouTube videos of people that were talking about courtship and what they did in their courtship to make sure that they kept themselves pure and kept themselves sane during the whole process. Because I know how hard it is, especially for women, girls. Ovulation, time of the month, like that whole thing, it drives you insane. It makes you be like, I want my man. So we knew what the goal was, and we just kept working towards the goal. Another good tip that everybody should do, this is not just for women, this is for men as well, know what the goal is and what you're working towards, and also put a date on that, right? If you're saying I'm gonna abstain, if you're single, okay, I get it, you have to abstain as long until the Lord delivers your husband or wife. But if you're in a relationship and you guys are courting, set a goal. Like, hey, I want to be married in 6 months. I want us to be married in a year. I want us to be married in 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is, because I promise you, when you're in this season of abstaining, it is so hard to defy your flesh and not have sex and fornicate, especially if that's all we're used to. This whole culture is just used to fornicating. That is what it is. But I promise you, it's possible to not have sex. And if you're feeling convicted about it right now while you're watching this video, you're welcome. Conviction is a blessing to have conviction. That is the only thing that keeps our heads on straight when we're submitted to the Lord. So I say it to say, set a goal, know what you're trying to do, put up boundaries, make sure that you're not overstepping the boundaries, keep the hugging, kissing to a minimum, make sure that you're locked in, know what the goal is, know where you're trying to go, where you're trying to get to. And because I promise you, the second you do get married and you do consummate your marriage, the sex that you have with your husband or wife is going to be the most amazing, church bells start ringing, when you finally do the deed with the person that you've stayed locked in for so long. So that's you, and you are currently abstaining right now. Keep going. I'm so proud of you. You got this. But yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning into my first video. If you guys like the video, of course, like it and subscribe. I'm getting ready to start dropping more content like this. I really do love sharing my life as a mom, a wife, the things I've been through, having a business, what it takes to run a business. That's all gonna be dropped on my YouTube channel. But like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.